Hi guys, it's Nick from Talk and Review. So this video is just going to be on Freddy Krueger's most creepiest and scary moments from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I've been a massive Freddy fan since I was young, and I've always favoured Freddy over the likes of Jason, Pinhead, Michael Myers, etc. I've been an avid fan in terms of collecting memorabilia many years ago. So there was a guy that I used to buy Freddy Krueger masks off, and these weren't your cheap kind that you get for $20. I'm posting some pictures above now, of which you can see the actual quality of the masks that I used to purchase. So I used to purchase these off a guy called Dark Ride. That was his username, and he used to do these masks to the T, every scar, every detail from each of the films. And if you're not aware, each film had a sort of different look for Freddy. So part one had a different look, 2, 3, 4, etc. And that also goes down to his jumper, his gloves. Each film had a different look. So I used to collect the masks. I also got the gloves. I had different gloves. The ones that I did purchase were the original. I had part 4, and I also got the. Even though I wasn't a big fan of the remake, I really enjoyed the glove. So I also purchased the glove because I got it dead cheap. I also had all the NECA toys. I had a load. And then once I got married, I had to get rid of them. Wife hated them, which I was gutted about. But they were brilliant memorabilia that I used to have. So back to the video. So these scenes are my personal creepiest and scary moments from the franchise. So this isn't something where I'm going to have a look back and watch all the films. I'm basing it on what stands out in my head from each of the films as a creepy or scary moment. So if I can remember it, it's definitely left an impression. So let's go ahead and see what they are. Starting off with the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So it would be the start of the film, which I found creepy, where you've got Freddy lurking in the shadows, and you can hear him laughing and making noises, and I found that really creepy. The next scene for me would be the Tina death scene. So it's the start of it, where Freddy's throwing the stones out the window. You can hear him calling for Tina. That creeped me out big time, where you can hear him shouting for Tina to come outside. And then it just then goes into that alleyway scene. Of where it's all shadows. Freddy comes out, and again, throughout this film, you don't really see Freddy's face. He's very in the shadows, seen a little bit here and there, and I love that. My next scene would be the bit. This is the end scene, really. So it'd be the bit where Freddy comes out of the bed, breaks through the sheet, and he's just stood there. Again, you don't see a lot of Freddy, but you just see him. He's steaming like he's just been burned, and he just looks horrendous and evil, and it's just the voice as well. I find it very creepy. Another scene, top of my head, would be the boiler scene, where Nancy's gone downstairs where she's dreaming, and he pops out, cuts his chest. You can see all the dirty maggots in there. The bit that freaks me out is where she's trapped in the corner. Freddy's coming in, doing his creepy voice, doing his classic glove screech on there, basically just telling her, look, I'm going to get you. And there's nowhere to go. Freddy's coming. So yeah, definitely a creepy moment for me. On to part 2. This isn't favoured from a lot of the Freddy fans, but for me, I feel that Freddy looks the darkest and most evil in this film. And there was quite a few creepy bits in this film. So the first one would be where he's on the bus. So where everything all collapses and the bus is toppling on top of the rocks and stuff like that, and then Freddy's there at the front of the bus, and he's slowly just walking up to Jesse, scratching the glove on the roof. Again, this is where I feel Freddy's best, is where he's in the shadows. You can't see him, you're not seeing a lot, you're just seeing little bits here and there. There's nowhere to go. Freddy's walking up, he's ready to just slice you in two. Great scene. Another scene in this film would be under the stairs. So Jesse's having a dream. He's looking down at the basement, and as he turns around, Freddy's there. And Freddy gives him a bit of chit chat, pulls his head back and is revealing the brain. Creepy ass moment, and Freddy just looks absolutely evil in this scene. And then my final scene in part 2 would be where Freddy's coming out of Jesse's body in Grady's bedroom, and Grady is absolutely shitting his pants. And it's just the scene where Freddy's just stood there. He just looks badass and evil at the same time. So he just, and it's also where Freddy's looking at him in the mirror. Jesse's looking in the mirror at himself, but he's seeing Freddy at the same time. And you've got the typical Freddy Krueger laugh, and he's just taunting him. And yeah, just very creepy. And when you watched it when you were younger, very scary at the same time. On to Dream Warriors. This is the best Nightmare on Elm Street film. Don't care what you say. This is my favourite Freddy film. I don't know why. I just feel that this is the best for me. So starting off with a creepy moment. So the first creepy moment in this film would be where you've got Kirsten turning up to Freddy's house. For me, it would be where Kirsten's hearing Freddy come home. She's legging it from him. Again, this is more psychological. You can't see Freddy, but you know he's come in, and you know that you're going to shit your pants because he's on his way to tear you apart. And it'll be where she's got stuck in the blood on her feet and she can't move. And you just see Freddy legging it round that corner, slow motion. He's on his way. And then luckily she just gets out of that and he just throws a massive swipe with the glove. Yeah, creepy moment for me on that one. Next one for Dream Warriors would be in the mental hospital, where Freddy turns up in the bedroom. So it's the puppet scene, so it's not the actual bit where he is a puppet, so it's the bit where he rises up at the bottom of the bed and he just goes shh, and then he just starts slicing him. He looks creepy in this scene. Doesn't even have to say anything, he just looks scary. So he gets his slicing going on, and that's where you got that awesome scene where all the veins are being pulled out. Disgusting scene, but also awesome at the same time. Next scene for part 3 for me would be where all of them no, it would be Taran's scene, where she's a punk rocker and Freddy just pulls up in front of her. It's not scary, but for me it felt creepy. And I think that was due to his voice. So his voice is distorted in this scene very much. And he just looks creepy as hell. And then when he pulls out the needle hands, I was like, oh, shit is happening in this scene. And yeah, great scene, typical Freddy. And the next scene for me would be the boiler scene, where all of them are going down to take on Freddy. He gets stabbed from Kincaid, and it's just Freddy's look. It's like, what is this? Pulls it out and then licks it with all his blood on. I was like, holy shit, when I saw that scene. He's just so badass in this scene. You've also got where he just rips his jumper open, and you've got all the chest of souls all screaming out on his chest. And it just looks horrendous. Yeah, disgusting. Part 4. There's only 2 I'd say that were creepy for me when I was a bit younger. So the first one would be the resurrection of Freddy. And it's just the first glimpse of where you see Freddy stood there. Again, in the shadows, you're not seeing much of Freddy. And it's during Kincaid's dream. So it's just that first glimpse of Freddy where he's been resurrected and he's just stood there in the shadows. Yeah, definite creepy scene for me. The second one for this film would be... it's the death where she's lifting the weights. And as the weight goes up, you just see Freddy's face in the weights. I was like, ooh, Freddy is coming. And then when he just snaps her elbows, I was like, bloody hell. Outrageous. So yeah, not too many on this one. So it would just be them 2 scenes. So, part 5 and Freddy's dead. This is where Freddy started to go into a very more comedic Freddy. The kills in the films were good, but he just wasn't that scary anymore. And I wouldn't say there's any creepy or scary moments in part 5 or Freddy's Dead. They're just enjoyable films and something good to add to the franchise. Wes Craven's New Nightmare was a really good take on the Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street series. Took it in a different direction. There were a few really good bits in that one. So it'd be the bit where he's in the wardrobe and he just slams open and he's like, "Miss me?" Yeah. There's also, I love the take on the original death of Tina in Wes Craven's. So I loved the way that they did that as such, in the same premise, but did it in a totally different environment, and it felt relatable, and they did really well with that scene. Yep, that was a creepy scene. Freddy versus Jason, I wasn't a big fan. I think they could have gone in loads of better directions in terms of story and linking Freddy and Jason together. There was many theories that they could have gone, but what they did with that film wasn't for me. And again, it was too comedic for me. And you've got Freddy throwing flipping Van Damme kicks and Superman punches. No, it didn't work for me at all. Freddy looked good in it, and it was exciting when it first came out, but as a proper scary Freddy, this wasn't a scary Freddy at all. So yeah, they could have done a lot better with Freddy versus Jason. The remake, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the remake. Piss poor film, just trying to copy. I know it's a remake and a rehash, but they could have been a lot more original with the death scenes. I don't know, for me it was too much CGI. The original film didn't fall heavy on CGI, and that's why I feel it's a lot more stronger, and the CGI in the new one just took me out of the film. And the only good scene that I really liked in the remake was the bit where she's in the supermarket and she's getting them micro naps and he's flicking in and out in the supermarket. And I had high hopes for the remake because I really liked Jackie Early, but I don't know, it just didn't work at all. The other scene that I did like, but it didn't really work when I watched it in the film, was where she's walking up to the classroom and you can actually hear Freddy singing Freddy's song. And then he stood there at the classroom board and then just looks at her. When I first saw that, I thought that was really good. But when I watched it in the cinema, it didn't work too well for me. The only good thing I'd probably say, I did like the sort of attempt to make Freddy look different, but it just didn't work at all. I only really liked the glove. The glove was very cool and a totally different take. I hope they bring Freddy back in some future instalments and do a decent effort. Make him scary, don't make him comedic. Just give him them sort of like one-liners that are not supposed to be stupidly funny, but they just relate to the scene, and just make him really dark and scary, and don't do a piss poor effort with lots of CGI. But yeah, so that's my take on the scariest and creepiest moments from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Drop us a like below, hit us with that subscribe button, let us know what's your favourite Nightmare on Elm Street film, or what are your creepiest moments from the franchise. Cheers guys.